Hi, I'm Layla. I have something special to share with you today. The National Association of State Treasurers and its Able Today initiative are excited to welcome you to a webcast on empowering your financial future through Able Accounts. The National Association of State Treasurers launched Able Today to be a new national platform to raise awareness on ABLE accounts with the disability community and support all state ABLE programs across the nation. Before we begin, we want to acknowledge this program that we're offering today is led by the National Association of State Treasurers through philanthropic support from Wells Fargo. ABLE Today's mission: to advance financial empowerment for people with disabilities, aligns with Wells Fargo's financial health philanthropy, which works to open pathways to economic advancement for diverse and low to moderate income Americans. ABLE Today's vision is threefold. First, to be a national catalyst for changing the way people with disabilities save, work, live, and make financial decisions. Second, to support national outreach on behalf of all ABLE programs, fostering opportunities to directly engage the disability community. And three, to provide resources on ABLE accounts, including background, benefits, and impactful opportunities for people with disabilities. The first ABLE programs launched in June 2016, and today there are 49 ABLE programs with over 120,000 people with disabilities enrolled. It really is enlightening to see the amazing progress and learn how people with disabilities are using their ABLE accounts to live, to work, to save, and to achieve, all while remaining on our necessary benefits. Seeing ABLE programs grow over the last 6 years has been one of the greatest opportunities and experiences for deaf or hard of hearing communities, but ABLE accounts remain one of the best kept secrets in the disability community. And today, we're hoping to change that. If you're a deaf or hard of hearing person with disabilities involved with any disability services, ABLE account is something you should know about. If you're a family member of a person with a disability, if you're a caregiver, if you're a school transition service coordinator, if you're in the disability network at your company, ABLE accounts should be on your radar. If you're a disability benefits provider, or if you provide financial advising services, if you are a trust lawyer, if you do any kind of monitoring or support for the finances for a deaf or hard of hearing person, ABLE accounts should be on your radar. Who should care about an ABLE account? The answer always is everyone. But it's really for anyone who has a personal disability or supports a person with a disability. The ABLE Today website, www.abletoday.org, has all the important information you need. Please take a look.
When you plan your finances month to month, do you worry or think about what will I do if I have more than $2,000 in my bank account? Which may cause me to lose my public benefits like Medicaid? Or maybe you're worried about spending down to keep your SSI check. Let me paint a picture for you of two different people who would qualify for ABLE accounts. The first is Amanda, a 13-year-old deaf-blind individual. And she will be using Medicaid services throughout her life. Amanda's parents are saving for her to go to college. But they wonder who will support and care for Amanda when they're no longer around to be able to do that. They want to be able to plan for her future. Her parents were probably advised, whatever you do, don't put any money in Amanda's name, because if you do that, that's going to disqualify her from being able to receive benefits like Medicaid. And it can financially hamstring her for the rest of her life. Dalton is another example. Dalton is a 39-year-old man. As a hard of hearing person with a developmental disability, he receives SSI, and he uses this for his monthly rent payment. Dalton wants to buy his own home one day, but because he's receiving benefits, he cannot have more than $2,000, which prevents him from saving for that home he wants. He wants to plan for his future and keep his benefits while he's working. But these restrictions didn't allow him to be able to do that until now. Now imagine if Amanda and Dalton could save their own money in their own names and be able to access that money whenever they need, so they can accumulate their wealth without losing benefits. That's where ABLE accounts come in, serving as a financial tool to allow our community to accumulate wealth without jeopardizing eligibility for benefit programs. What is an ABLE account? ABLE accounts are a tax-advantaged savings and investment tool specifically for people with disabilities that allows them to save money and invest in their future. It also allows deaf and hard of hearing people to access their money whenever they need for qualified expenses without affecting public benefits. In 2014, Congress passed the Achieving a Better Life Experience ABLE Act, creating a savings and investment account specifically for people with disabilities. This law, which amended the U.S. tax code, is a financial equalizer designed to empower people with disabilities to take control of their own lives and their financial decisions. Disability benefits such as Medicaid and SSI support the health and independence for millions of people with disabilities. But these benefit programs do have limits for how much money a person can have while receiving these benefits. The limit for Medicaid and SSI is approximately $2,000. But with an ABLE account, a person with disabilities can save above those limits without jeopardizing their eligibility for those benefits. ABLE accounts are offered through state-run ABLE programs. There are currently 49 total ABLE programs offered throughout the country, some with nationwide enrollment offerings as well. There are a few states that do require in-state residency to open an account in that state. The first ABLE programs launched in June 2016. Since then, over 120,000 ABLE accounts have been opened. And now, over $1 billion are in assets under management across the ABLE programs. $1 billion! If you want to find out more information about the ABLE program in your state, you can go to the ABLE Today state program webpage at www.abletoday.org/able-programs. One of the most important things about ABLE accounts is that the person with the disability, called the beneficiary, is always the owner of the account. That means that the money in that account belongs to them. It's in their name, and they have the opportunity to use that money at their discretion. Or they can have someone as an authorized legal representative support the administration of the account. ABLE accounts are very simple to use. They've been designed to be online programs that work very similarly to online banking. You can open, close, and make transactions all from a computer or a mobile device. Some states also offer paper enrollment options. They are tax-advantaged accounts, meaning that any growth that you have on your money is tax-free. Later in this presentation, we will talk about the things you can use your ABLE account for. ABLE programs are designed to be very consumer-friendly and easy to use, and they can make a world of difference for people like you and me. Who qualifies for an ABLE account? Eligibility for an ABLE account requires that you become deaf, hard of hearing, or have a disability where the onset occurred before the age of 26. And one of the following: eligible to receive SSI or SSDI due to disability, or already receiving SSI or SSDI. Or you have a condition listed on Social Security Administration's list of compassionate allowances conditions. The Social Security website has a list of conditions that apply. Or a self-certification requires a diagnosis of a physical or mental impairment that causes marked and severe functional limitations, self-attestation. Some programs do not require documentation to be submitted during enrollment. One thing we wanted to point out is that you do not need to be on benefits to open up an ABLE account. You just need to meet the federal Social Security definition of disability. Now, how do you open an ABLE account? Thanks to the National Association of State Treasurers, you can visit ABLE Today to find a list of state programs and how to enroll in an ABLE plan. Most programs offer easy enrollment online. Some may accept paper applications, while certain ABLE programs can be enrolled through a financial advisor. A deaf or hard of hearing person with disabilities can enroll in and control their own account. Another person who can establish an ABLE account is an ABLE support person or authorized legal representative. This person could be a power of attorney, conservator, guardian, spouse, parent, sibling, grandparent, and or a representative payee. Here is a good example of this. Amanda, the young female whose mom takes care of her. Amanda's mom opens the account and helps manage the account for Amanda. It takes her mom about 20 minutes to open the account. Amanda is listed as the account owner, and Amanda's mom is listed as her support person. Her mom manages and administers all of the day-to-day withdrawals, contributions, or anything else that's related to the account.
Many people ask this question: how do you get money into your ABLE account? Typically, funding your ABLE account functions like a checking account. You can deposit money via a check or electronically through EFT, electronic funds transfer. Like most programs, ABLE accounts allow payroll deductions and e-gifts for both an individual with a disability who is working, but also from a parent or caregiver who wants to save for a loved one with a disability. You can also deposit your monthly SSI or SSDI check into your ABLE account, and the rollover feature can also roll over money from a traditional 529 college savings account to an ABLE account without a penalty. Another way to fund your ABLE account is through e-gifting. Many ABLE programs offer the options for e-gifting or crowdfunding contributions to be provided to the account. Here is an example. Let's say a deaf, hard of hearing person with disabilities wanted to purchase a certain type of hearing aid device that costs $1,000. The person's insurance, for example, may cover $600 for the purchase of the hearing aid. The deaf, hard of hearing person could use their ABLE account to promote an e-gifting event with their community, friends, and family, saying, "I am hoping to purchase a hearing aid device that will improve my quality of health, independence, and life. Would you like to help contribute to my ABLE account to assist in my purchase?" How much can you contribute to an ABLE account? This is important because there are limits. When Congress passed the ABLE Act in 2014, there were some guidelines on how much you can put into an ABLE account. The current limit is $16,000 in annual contributions. Which is based on the IRS gift tax exemption, which is subject to change. Funding your ABLE account can come from any contribution source: yourself, family, friends, nonprofits, organizations, and employers. You can put in your SSI benefits, you can put in your paycheck. Other people can contribute money into your ABLE account, but you can only put in up to $16,000 a year. There is an exception if you are working and if you want to contribute additional money in addition to the $16,000 from other sources. You can also put in up to an additional $12,880 from the amount you earn in wages. In total, for workers with disabilities, this means you can save up to $28,880 in a single calendar year. ABLE programs also have balance limits that are different from state to state. Many have balance limits that are between $400,000 and $500,000 for the accounts. Please check with the ABLE program to see what its maximum balance limit is based on the state. Here is an example of how Dalton contributes to his ABLE account. He sets up direct deposits through his employer to contribute a part of his paycheck. Dalton can contribute up to $12,880 from his work income. He also uses e-gifting and receives $5,000 annually from his family and friends. Using e-gifting or receiving contributions from friends or family for his ABLE account will not affect his benefits. Before ABLE, Dalton could never have more than $2,000 in his bank account. Now with an ABLE account, he has more than $17,000 in annual savings, and it doesn't affect his benefits. He has the ability to maintain his savings, save for the future down payment for the house he wants to buy, and not risk losing his benefits. The cost of these ABLE accounts is meant to be affordable and competitive. The annual account maintenance fees for these accounts range anywhere from $0 to $60 per year. They give you the ability to invest your money and keep your public benefits. ABLE accounts may also have asset management fees. These are fees collected to support the management of the investment funds for the ABLE account. The fees are similar to those that may be associated with retirement accounts or other investment products. They can range from 0% to 0.9% for the various accounts, based on the selection of the investment. We've discussed a lot about the nuances of eligibility and how to establish an ABLE account. But do you know how to utilize those resources in your ABLE account throughout your daily life? These are called Qualified Disability Expenses, or QDEs. As part of the ABLE Act, you can use the money in the ABLE account for a QDE, which helps improve or maintain your health, your independence, or your quality of life. Here are some examples of what you can use your ABLE account for on a daily basis. Housing, like rent or saving to purchase your new home. Mortgage or rent payments. Assistive technology, basic living expenses, financial management, transportation to get to and from work or school, health and wellness, education, tutoring services, a job coach, legal fees, and so much more. The expenses are very broad, and we're very pleased to have a number of different examples of how self-advocates can utilize their ABLE account in their daily lives. There are multiple ways to withdraw money from your ABLE account. You will see several different platforms and different options that state ABLE programs have available for individuals to spend their money. Again, each state has different capabilities, and these range from checkbooks, debit cards, third-party checks, and bank transfers.
There are two important special benefits rules that we wanted to point out on how ABLE accounts interact with and impact your disability benefits. Let's discuss the Social Security benefit called SSI first. For SSI, if the account reaches $100,000 in assets, additional funds in your ABLE account will count towards your resource limit of $2,000 for SSI. You don't become disqualified for SSI. Your monthly benefits are suspended. We encourage individuals with their support networks to think about what they will do once that account reaches $100,000 in assets. If you are saving up for a big expense, maybe for instance purchasing your own home, and you're in a position where you want to accumulate more wealth in your ABLE account to be able to purchase that large expense, or if you really need the monthly SSI check, you can decide to maintain your ABLE account under that $100,000 threshold. Additionally, if you withdraw money from your ABLE account to use for housing, it must be spent within the same calendar month. For example, if you withdraw rent on October 10th, you must pay the rent in October. or the funds may count towards your resource limit of $2,000. The great thing about ABLE, and one of the reasons the disability community fought so hard to get it passed, is because the resources in ABLE accounts never impact your Medicaid eligibility. In short, Medicaid is never impacted by the size of your ABLE account. If you look at any options in the financial world, there are lots of different opportunities and choices to pick from. Including ABLE accounts, another resource available for people with disabilities and their support networks is a special needs trust. You may be thinking of or may have a special needs trust, or may be thinking of or may have an ABLE account. You can have both. Special Needs Trust and ABLE accounts are complementary financial tools, and they assist with helping answer each other's questions. A couple of examples for how they work so great together, as stated earlier in the presentation. ABLE accounts have a $16,000 maximum annual contribution limit per year. Special Needs Trusts do not have annual contribution limits. For example, if someone has a $100,000 life insurance policy, they could only contribute a maximum of $16,000 per year into the ABLE account but could deposit the full amount directly into a special needs trust. As an option, someone could deposit the life insurance policy into a special needs trust and then make disbursements from the special needs trust to transfer funds into the ABLE account. Another example relates to expanding the purchasing power of the money in each tool. An ABLE account can support things that a special needs trust can't do. Special Needs Trust cannot be used for meals, whereas an ABLE account can. Money from a Special Needs Trust can be transferred to the ABLE account and then used for transactions, possibly by using an ABLE account debit card, including meals and other qualified disability expenses. ABLE accounts can also be used to save money for legal services and products such as wills and special needs trusts. If you have not already, they should both be considered as part of a financial toolbox for people with disabilities.